So what happens when it all goes wrong? You put together your launch, you put together your promotion, you put all this work into it, it's an exciting day, you push the send button, and there are no sales. Or maybe it severely underperforms. It's just the launch goes wrong, the promotion goes wrong. Well, first of all, you have to understand that this happens to everyone sooner or later. It's not a matter of whether you've had something fail or not, it's a matter of when it will happen. If you're in business, it's a full contact sport. And sometimes things don't go as planned. It happens to everyone. It's happened to me. If it hasn't happened to you, you just haven't been in business long enough. So, 3 things. Well, we'll probably go through 4 things. But first of all, the first thing you do is you make sure everything is working technically. You go to that email that you sent. Well, you go look at your stats and you say, did it actually send? Did it literally send? Did I remember to push the send button? Then did it get any clicks? Did it get any opens? So you check your stats first. Then you go check your email program. And you look at your email. Of course, you're getting your own emails, of course. So you go and you check the email. You open up the email. You see if the copy's in there. You go down, you click the link. I know this is super basic, but this is important. You click the link. You make sure the link is live. It goes to your page, that the sales page loads, that the order page loads, that go through, fill out the form, click the button, put in a test order. Of course, theoretically, you did all this ahead of time, but sometimes we miss steps. In other words, just go through every step in your sales process to see if something is breaking there. And really, this is the best case scenario if it's a tech problem, because those are easy to fix. You'll get those fixed. You can have a do-over if it was just a tech problem. So literally, if any of us, whenever someone in my community, someone in my mastermind has a launch that goes awry, you're hoping it's a tech problem, because like I said, those are easy to fix. So if everything checks out, this is where and that's most of the times, if everything checks out, this is where the real work begins. And if it's not converting, if your offer is not converting, it generally comes down to one of 2 things. One is you didn't get the offer right of what people are actually going to get if they pull out their wallet and give you their money. And the other one is you didn't get the messaging right, the copy right. This is what the launch is all about, is the copy, is communicating what the importance, why they need to pay attention, why they need to buy now. So the first thing I would look at would be the offer. And everything I'm about to say here, for both the offer and the copy, if you're doing a launch, you've come down into this day, into this launch day, into this day where your promotion goes live. You've put in a lot of work, you've been heads down on this, and it's really easy to lose perspective. So these steps it's all about trying to get perspective. So if you have someone, a trusted colleague, someone who's on your team, maybe who hasn't been working too closely on this promotion, if you have a mastermind partners who can give you some outside perspective, if you have a past client who's really close to you, that you've developed a relationship and you can trust their instincts, get them to look at the offer. Now, this doesn't mean to get your mom or your brother or your best friend. If they don't know anything about your market, if they don't know anything about your prospects, about your avatar, they're not the right people. But if you have someone that you can trust, that knows your market, that knows the people in your market, knows their hopes, their dreams, their fears, their desires, their aspirations, who they want to be in the future, have them take a look at that offer. Now, if you don't have that, and really this goes for both the offer and the copy, if you don't have someone who can pick through that, can closely look through and give you honest feedback that's based on what your avatar cares about, then you can try to, this is what I do, is I try to just visualize myself, and I just try to visualize myself floating out of my own body, and then and being not Jeff, and then taking a look down at that offer and copy from the perspective of someone who's your perfect prospect, who doesn't know what you know. and look at it with that set of fresh eyes. Now, this is not an easy thing to do. It's something I think it comes with practice, the ability to at this moment disassociate with yourself and look with an outside perspective. If you can do that, great. And that's probably the first thing you should do, but you should always seek outside perspective. Another thing that you can do is you can do a live. Get in front of your people, get in front of your prospects. So do wherever you want to do a live, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. And I did this once. I called it an emergency webinar. I just got on and answered all the questions that people had. But really, it's about getting in dialogue. So if you can do a live and you can actually get in dialogue with your people, where you can get deeply in touch. I mean, hopefully you did this before the promotion, but you really drill down and get in touch with them and find out really why they're not moving. And when I say not moving to take that action to buy from you. Because at the end of the day, your copy has to hook your people. It has to convince them that now is the time that they need to pay attention to your message, because it's going to change their life. And that offer, now is the time where they have to look at that, because you're offering a transformation to them. You're taking away some pain in their life, or you're delivering some incredible benefit. You're either, it's pain or pleasure. You're either taking away pain or delivering pleasure. And you have to be able to convince them, to compel them to move now, because their life will change if they get your offer. And you have to create the offer that does that. You have to have an offer that is like, that's interesting. I think, you know what? I'm going to think about that in a week or a month or a year. Now, you have to convince them now is the time to get that transformation in their life. And there has to be something in that offer that convinces them. Now, just tactically, when you're in the middle and maybe you're getting the clicks are coming through, people are looking at your sales page, from getting in conversation with them, you sense that they're interested, but there isn't the thing that's tipping them over the edge. Look at your offer and it's like, what can we get them to buy now, to move now, to act now? Because everyone's really good at procrastinating. You're trying to get them to move now. And this is often a great time to add in a new bonus. You know, I have this saying that no launch is over until you close the cart. It's not over till it's over. So you can always add an additional bonus. And at this point, you'd be looking and say, what's the bonus that could really compel them to move right now? So if this has been a good topic, if you want me to go deeper, obviously I could go a lot further on this. And let me know in the comments what your additional questions are, or if you want to hear more on this, and I'd be happy to shoot another video, because, you know, operationally there's all questions on there on what you actually do going forward once you decide to make changes, and on and on. But almost every launch can be saved. That's the thing. And finally, one other thing to remember is that your first launch is never your last launch. This is the thing. This isn't a referendum on your worth as a human being. Like if you do a promotion and it doesn't work that well, it just means you had a promotion or a launch that didn't work that well. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're an incompetent person. It doesn't mean you'll never have success as an entrepreneur. So just try to step back. Give yourself some altitude. Give yourself some perspective. So I'm Jeff Walker. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.